Hello and welcome back to Soul Sisters Sundays. We just finished wrapping up episode 8 with Jada Steele. Oh my goodness, such a breath of fresh air. Jada is a motivational speaker, facilitator, and coach. She brought the energy, she brought the wisdom.
Mhm.
Kimba, come on, let's talk about this show.
Oh my, it was everything that I needed today. Like I said in the episode, I started the day with just kind of grounding myself,
Yeah.
just kind of being off balance for no reason in particular, right? And then when she came on, it was just almost like this is what I needed. I grounded myself so that I could vibrate higher. And she
Yeah.
helped me with that vibrational, workings or whatnot.
Yeah.
She dropped a few jewels, things that I'll take away. The one thing that I'm gonna take away, and I said it to her 10 million times, is when she said, "Do you like liars? Well, don't lie to yourself." And so the thing that I'm gonna take away is affirming to myself on a daily basis to keep my promises to self. See, I
Yeah.
have this habit of wanting to forgive myself, and I've said it. I've said it on the show. I said,
Mhm.
Lisa Nichols says that you have to be willing to forgive yourself 1,000 times. And every time
Right.
you get to 999, reset and start over. I still
Right.
hold that to be true. So as I'm building, if I don't meet my 10,000 steps and I only got to
Mhm.
9,200, that tomorrow I'll definitely make sure that I get to the 10. But what
Yeah.
Jada was reminding me is if I say 10, 10 should be 10.
Yeah.
Now that's on me how I get to that 10. Does that mean that I need to now break it up a little bit more? Does that mean that I just need to walk in circles a little bit more? Does that mean
Right.
that if I'm looking at my phone and my phone is telling me that I've only done 9,200, but I didn't have my phone in my hand or on my person that whole time. How do I not know that I got to the 10,000? So let me put a watch on, one of those fit rings on. Let me put something else on that can monitor my actual steps. And so I
Mm.
have to be more intentional about how to keep promises to myself so it doesn't look like I've slacked anywhere. So I love that reminder.
Yes. Like you said, so many gems. Like, even just, first of all, reading books, so important to give you perspective on other people's
Mhm,
experiences,
mhm,
what's worked for them.
mhm,
Wisdom does not leave the earth, wisdom gets recycled.
for
And
sure.
a lot of the times, the same wisdom from 20, 50, 100 years ago is still very much relevant to life
Yes.
today, even with all the technology and stuff that we have. So
Mhm.
I can absolutely appreciate, first of all, reading. I can appreciate, like you said, keeping the promises to yourself. That
Yeah.
was so important because she mentioned that that was a way to build confidence. You
Mhm.
build confidence in yourself when you do what you told yourself you were going to do,
Right.
when you told someone else you were going to do that thing. And I do appreciate that. And then I also can appreciate the fact that the mentorship was such a big piece of her upbringing and
Right.
her seeds to success.
Right.
I am a firm believer in mentorship. As you know, I work in the criminal justice field. A lot of the work that I do in the policy work is around evidence-based practices. Mentorship is an evidence-based practice.
Mhm.
Having a healthy relationship with a mentor, whether you're a child, you're a teenager, you're an adult, having that healthy relationship really can take you far in life. And as she mentioned, it can even cut down on the amount of time it takes for you
Right.
to achieve that level of success that you want to achieve.
Right.
So when I just think about the fact that she's self-taught, that she's self-motivated, like we all have the same 24 hours in a day.
Right.
Some of us do have other obligations, and so I don't discount that, but there's no excuse that you can't calendar something for yourself,
Right.
calendar something for you and your spouse, calendar time for you
Right.
and your loved ones. So,
And it's funny because going back to the mentorship, the
yep.
sponsorship, I also think that it
Yes.
could be generational. And
Yeah.
here's why I say that, because coming up for me, I didn't do mentors.
Mhm.
Part of that was, I don't know if I wanna call it my awkward self or if it was the
Mhm.
not wanting to raise my hand and being told no,
Right.
like, it's just different things. I said, "I'll do it myself." And so I spent a lot of time self-taught, reading books. And, like one of my best friends and I, we would just bounce off of each other, different fields, different goals in life, but we would bounce off of each other and we would be teaching each other. And like Jada said, it was a long route. Now I'm spending 3 hours when if I had that mentor, it could have been 15 minutes.
Mm.
But see,
Talk
as
about it.
since I've come along,
Yeah.
folks are more inclined to be vulnerable, to say, "Hey, I need help." And I don't mind asking you for help because the worst thing you can do is tell me no. And that's not even the worst thing because if you tell me no and I have that discipline in myself, I can then go out and find somebody else in the same field because I'm building my confidence. I'm building my confidence to raise my hand and say, it's okay to know that I'm not the smartest person in the room. Matter of
Yep.
fact, I don't even want to be in a room where I am the smartest person.
Right.
I'm being
Ooh,
honest
yeah.
because what can I learn? I want to be in a room where I can learn.
Mhm.
So environments are super important.
Oh,
Mentorship,
yes.
sponsorships, all of that. And I think that Jada just really touched on that. And as we talk about education, this
Yeah.
right here to me was more of an informal talk on education because we
Yeah.
weren't talking preschool through college, right? We
Right.
were talking life skills. So
Yes.
education is wherever you find it. We were talking, our grandfather, giving us
Yep.
words. We were talking sitting at the table and going through dictionaries. We were talking about how you find education even in cookbooks.
Mhm.
Because that's measurements. That's
Yep.
science, like the taste, the measure, all of that. So education is wherever you find it, where it's propelling your mind to take your intellect further. I absolutely love this episode.
Period, period. It does not have to be formal, and the more that we go on this journey through this month of September, I think our viewers, by the end of September, will have a broader understanding and sense of, like, what we value in terms of academic achievement, and like you said, it does not have to be formal education. As if somebody is homeschooling their child, if the grandparent, like you said, is just quizzing us on vocabulary words, if our father is saying, "Hey, you don't throw away a encyclopedia, you don't throw away a dictionary, you don't throw away
Mm,
knowledge.
right.
You recycle that knowledge and give it to others."
Yeah.
That's just so important, and it goes back to the life skills. One thing that I did want to ask, and I didn't get a chance to, was Jada's thoughts on not only seeking mentors, but also volunteering to become a mentor.
Uh,
Right? Like, we are now that we didn't bumped our head 15 times along the way, right? To try to really blaze a trail that
yeah.
maybe people in our community, in our family, that they couldn't give us that
Yeah.
guidance on because it had not been blazed yet. So when we became trailblazers in our respective areas,
Hmm.
now we have the honor and the responsibility to reach back, to take somebody else by the hand and not wait for them to identify us necessarily as their mentor because they may not have the confidence yet, but to say, "I see in you something really special. I want to be here for you. I want to help you in whatever ways that you want me to, that you allow me to. But if I can make it easier for you, that's what I'm here to do."
Yeah, and I
What are
think
your thoughts on that?
that's something that I think you and I build on, right?
Yep,
Because
yep,
I'm not the expert, you're not the
yep,
expert, but
right,
together we have knowledge, and together we have things that some things I'm stronger in and some things you're stronger in.
right,
And so the things that you're stronger in, I tap into you to be
right,
able to get that.
yeah,
Vice versa. You tap
right,
into me to get it. So
yep,
again, we're talking about 11-year difference.
yep,
So what? It's not big I little you, big you little I. That's not it. So what I would like for our viewers to
mhm,
remember is that your mentor can be anywhere and it could be
yep,
anybody. It could be my 12-year-old granddaughter. The
yep,
age in and of itself is not important. Sometimes it's the experience. Sometimes it is, just the comfort of it. and we have to be willing to reach cross lines
Right.
and tap into one another, and
I like
that's
that.
super important.
Yeah, reach forward, reach back, reach to the sides. Wherever we gotta reach, let's do it.
Yes.
And we are so privileged to have that wisdom at this point
Yes.
in life, right?
Oh my
And
god.
nowhere and in no sense should we take that and go run and live out of our communities on our own doing like this is something that we need to teach our folks. And I'm so excited that we were able to do that. This was such a great episode. We are jazzed up and ready for Education Month.
Oh,
Next week, you will
mhm.
not wanna miss it. You will not wanna miss what we're gonna talk about because this is the trajectory for a lot of our youth in our
Okay.
communities. This is the way that we think people can begin to build generational wealth. I'm not gonna tell you all the details, but you will see next week, so don't miss it.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all, stay in the light and keep it on the up and up.